Chosen ones, this is going to be a chosen one message, no cards. All right, chosen ones, the biggest thing here is they can't come with you if they're still interacting with you from the version of you 10 versions ago. You see, chosen ones, you have people in your life, you have people around you who are interacting with you, communicating with you, trying to get at you, like who you used to be. They're talking at you from a previous version. And the thing is, you're not that version anymore. And you're not even the version after that version. And you're not even the version after that version. And here's the thing, chosen ones, each version, you actually did the work. So you've gone through like 10 versions of evolution, because as we evolve, we're always growing, we're always elevating. It is an ascension process, chosen ones. As you get closer to yourself, as you go closer and deeper within, you get closer to God, closer to source, closer to spirit, you elevate, you grow. And as you are on this elevation, this growth path, you're evolving into a different version every time. You see, chosen ones, they'll say, oh, they changed up, oh, they switched up, oh, they did this, oh, they did that. No, you didn't. You just are elevating, you are ascending, you're growing, and they should be too. And that's the problem, chosen ones. That's why we have to have boundaries and discernment with these fake friends, fake work people, fake family. We have to cut these people off until they go through their own ascension process. And oftentimes, chosen ones, do you remember what it took for you to go through your ascension process? Oftentimes, it's being the black sheep. It's being abandoned. It's having everyone that was supposed to be there for you, not there for you in your hardest times. You had to go through it alone. And chosen ones, it's now time for them to go through it alone. And you can have compassion for them from a distance, but it is time for them to go through the journey just like you did, chosen ones, on their own. Let me clear that energy. All right, we have Philippines 4:11-13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When people ask, how do you do it? How did you do this? How did you do that? God taught me. The song by Zante. When they ask me how I did it, I say God taught me. When they ask me how I got here, I say God brought me. Ask me who this power is from. It's God, not me. Every step I take, I know God got me. Ask me where this power from. It's God, not me. So chosen ones, when they ask, how do you have the energy to do this? How do you have the energy to do that? How did you do this? How did they do that? God brought you through it. And that's the thing, chosen ones. You have people in your life who act like they're spiritual, who act like they may go through certain steps. They may say that they're holier than thou because they go to that Sunday service every Sunday, but they're not in their Bible every night like you are, chosen ones. They're not talking to God. They're not praying to God like you are, chosen ones. They're not connecting to the angels. They're not having that deep connection. So there's this thing here where they're being outed. The people who are what I like to call superficial, chosen ones, are being outed in your life right now. You are finding out who is there for you and who isn't. You're finding out who is up for your evolution, not down for it, who is up for your evolution and wants to evolve with you, who is ready to rise with you, not because they want clout off of your own growth, but because they are going through their own process. They are going through their own evolution. They are taking steps towards bettering their health. They are cutting out toxic substances from their life. They are choosing better words. They are stepping into those conversations where gossip is occurring and saying, I don't think this is an appropriate conversation. That person's not here to talk about the truth of the matter. We shouldn't even be talking about that. Chosen ones, these are the situations that God is presenting so that you can teach these people a lesson and so that you can see as cycles come back around where you have grown, so you no longer have to put up with these cycles. We are having huge closeouts at this time. Also, the element of fire is very prominent at this time, the purification of fire. We can't love and light our way out of these things. The fire of self-discovery will not burn me. It will burn everything that I am not. And so a big emphasis on the gut. I just finished a 72-hour fast. To be honest, I thought I was only going to do 48 hours, and then I followed my intuition, and God told me to go the full 72. I did have bone broth at like hour 64, 65, but some people will do a fast and they'll have bone broth through the whole fast. I did my fast for 64 hours with nothing but water and salt for spiritual purposes, but also for health purposes. And I just have to say, some of the health things that I was talking about in my recent health video literally completely disappeared after I did the 72-hour fast. Certain food sensitivities have completely disappeared after doing that fast. So even though I did the MRT and doing the elimination diet, I decided to try a trigger food yesterday and today after being on a certain day of my protocol. No issues. Zero issues, and I know it's because of the 72-hour fast. Now, what happens when you do a 72-hour fast? Also, I just want to say, if you've never fasted before, please begin with intermittent fasting. check with a doctor, etc. I'm not giving health advice, but do not just go right into a 72-hour fast, because you can have serious repercussions if you do that. However, I highly recommend, chosen ones, that you get into a practice of beginning with maybe just like 16-hour fast, and then building up to a 24-hour fast, and then building up to a 36-hour fast, building up to a 48-hour fast, and then once a month building up to a 72-hour fast. And that is a protocol that I've put into my life now, is a monthly 72-hour fast. I just have to say, I feel amazing from it. Everything, it was amazing. And so, chosen ones, there's something here. Obviously, we know fasting has been in the Bible, it's been around for centuries, but what we don't really hear about enough is what really happens whenever our body goes into a state of autophagy. It eats all of the bad cells, it eats all of the mast cells that are overreacting, for anyone with histamine intolerances and mast cell activation. It eats cancer cells, it eats all of the bad stuff, and then it kind of resets and regenerates not just your brain, but all of your cells. And when you do a prolonged fast, specifically after 48, I think it's more like 60 to 72 is the sweet spot. It makes your brain sharper. It can really help with brain fog. It can really help with spiritual attacks. It can really help with people who are just trying to get in there. And I just have to say, it was probably the best decision of my life to do that this week. And I feel even more renewed and even more strength from coming out of that fast. Chosen ones, you'll have people look at you like you're crazy for doing a fast. You'll have people talking about you, but that's just because they would never have the discipline to do those things. Just like they don't have the discipline to go through all of the steps and go through all of the work, chosen ones, that you have diligently put in on your own health, on your own body, on your own mind, on your own education. Chosen ones, you are learning new languages. You're learning new instruments. You're learning new crafts. You're learning new skills. Your culinary skills are getting better. Your health regime is getting better because you're taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. It's a holistic approach. And chosen ones, they are only focusing on one area. They may tote around in this, what looks like a super healthy body, but upstairs they're not doing so hot. They may seem like they have everything put together, but their body, they're not taking care of it. Chosen ones, there's something here where you actually encompass the whole thing, because you know that you're only as strong as your weakest link, chosen ones. And if you really are a chosen one and you really are on that path, then God taught you that you have to bring up your lowest pillar and make sure, chosen ones, that it never stays too far behind the rest. You know that you have to stay balanced across the board, and that's why slow but steady wins the race, chosen ones. We also have the song Smile by G-Unit, 50 Cent. God bless whoever gave you all that. But the thing is, it's not just God bless whoever gave you all that. It's not just your body, chosen ones, but it's your heart, your mind, and your spirit. There's something here about you really honor your heritage. You honor your culture. You have pride in your family. You have pride in your heritage. You have pride in where you come from. Even there's a situation here where it's like people could get so annoyed by that. They could be like, oh, well, were you born there? Were you da-da-da-da-da? It doesn't matter if your parents came over, if your grandparents came over, if your great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. If that's 7 generations, then it's in your own body. It's in the blood that is within your body, chosen ones. So don't let anyone ever try and shame you about your heritage. Don't let anyone ever try and quiet you from your heritage. Don't ever let anyone try and strip you of your culture, chosen ones. You can be wanting to cook more dishes that are from your heritage, from your ancestors, learning instruments, learning your ancestors' language. These are things that are going to be important in the next coming months, in the next few years. Also, chosen ones, I was so I've been rewatching Game of Thrones, and in that, so it just tied in perfectly with honoring your heritage and honoring your culture, because chosen ones, where did I write this? The devil will have you think that pride is evil, so that the devil can disconnect you from your heritage and your culture, which will disconnect you from your bloodline's highest purpose for you. You see, chosen ones, we need our ego. It just can't rule us, but we need a healthy sense of self-identity. We need a healthy sense of ego. And this is just like in Game of Thrones, when Arya Stark is training with the many-faced god. And, it's the many-faced God. And she has to train to be no one. In her training to be no one, she's training to be no one. They're basically trying to completely strip her of who she is, strip her of her bloodline, strip her of her identity. And then furthermore, whenever she's in training, she gets beaten if her lies aren't convincing enough. And then she gets praised if she tells a believable lie. And chosen ones, that's what's happening in our world today, is it not? Because the people that are making fun of you, the people that are walking walking around doing this and that. They're doing that while they're hiding so much, yet they're trying to say you hide things or you're weird, and you're just out here authentic. You're just out here standing in your truth. You're just out here like an open freaking book. And some people may say that that's your weakness, but you know that your strength is in your heritage, is in your identity, but they'll have you make you think that it's your weakness so that they can try and strip you of it. You see, at the end of her time training with the many-faced gods, Arya Stark defeats she kills the person that was trying to kill her, and she says a girl is not no one, a girl is Arya Stark of Winterfell, and she reclaims who she is, and then she completely, does justice on her family's bloodline after that. You see, the devil wants you to claim yourself as no one because it knows the only way that it will have power over you, chosen ones, is to strip you of your identity, to strip you of your heritage, to strip you of your culture. This is also just like Simba in The Lion King when he's looking up at the sky and talking to Mufasa, and Mufasa's like, remember who you are. If you have forgotten yourself, then you have forgotten me. And I feel like, chosen ones, you have ancestors here that are staring at you, that are like, you've forgotten yourself, you've forgotten me. The way back to yourself, chosen ones, if you're feeling lost, is back to your ancestors, is back to God. Because if you're ever feeling lost in a forest, you can never get lost in a forest again when you are found internally with God. When you're one with God, you're one with nature, you're one with the trees. Which also brings me into slacklining. To me, it's my favorite form of meditation, because when you tie a tightrope string between two trees, it's perfectly still. The only thing that makes that string move around is your own bullshit that you carry around on your plate, your own anxiety, your own insecurities, your own chatter. And the only way that you get immediate, direct, concrete feedback, chosen ones, is when you put your foot on that string, and if you can stand up and if you can walk across. And as you train and as you become more still and as you become lighter and as you release and as you shed the insecurities and as you reclaim who you are, you end up walking across that rope and it stays perfectly still because you found stillness, because you found God, because you found that oneness. And to me, that's why I love slacklining. So there's something here, chosen ones, where your spiritual practice cannot just be instilled by dedicating time to your Bible, dedicating time to the Word. Yes, all of that is important, but chosen ones, it has to also be in the physical vessel. There's something here that needs to be tangible in the physical vessel. You need to physically train for this. It's not just, you're only as strong as your weakest pillar. And so for some, you can be strong in so many areas, but you really need to focus on the body, the vessel, and that also starts with the gut. That also starts with the diet. And that's also what is so amazing about a 72-hour fast, is it really allows your gut and your body to heal in a way that it never gets to because it's always digesting. When we're digesting foods, we can't heal. And again, furthermore, it puts you into the state of autophagy. But again, please do your own research on that. I think I'm going to keep that here, and I'll do the rest of the notes for next time. But I love you guys, and if you guys ever want a personal reading, hit me up.